Welcome everybody here to what is an historic day at VCU Athletics. I'm Robbie Robinson. Not only am I the play-by-play voice of the men's basketball team for VCU, I'm also an associate athletic director for external relations here for the Rams. And this is really an exciting day for all of us that has anything to do with VCU. I want to welcome everybody here, whether you're part of our Ram Athletic Fund board, you're a donor, you're a season ticket holder, you're a member of the media, you're a member of our athletic department staff. We are truly blessed to have you here today in the Tommy West Club for the unveiling of our new VCU Athletics visual identity. It was last March that we put out an RFP to get proposals to redesign the athletic identity for VCU. We received over 30 different proposals from companies as far west as Los Angeles and as far east as New York City, including some right here in Richmond, Virginia. In April, we whittled that down to one company, and we selected Rickbaugh Graphics, which ironically is right in the middle of America in Columbus, and Rickbaugh Graphics had an unbelievable resume of graphic work they had done. They've designed the Ohio State logo that you currently see. They've designed the secondary marks of the Texas Longhorns, and you can go to just about any conference in the country and find at least one school residing in that conference that has had their logo designed by Rickbaugh Graphics. In June, down at a marketing convention for collegiate marketers in Orlando, we met face-to-face with Eric Rickbaugh. He sat us down, he pulled out his pencil, and he said, guys, tell us what you want this logo to look like. And he asked us to give us words, different words that he wanted us to say for this logo. So we used words like iconic. We used words like timeless. We also used words like cutting edge because we believe that represented VCU athletics. We also said, Eric, more than anything, we want this logo to be a mark that when you look at it, you know a couple things. A, it's the mark of VCU, and B, it represents who we are as an athletic department and as a university here in Richmond, Virginia. That takes us to the beginning of July. Then we had our first draft with Eric. He brought about 9 or 10 different drafts, put them up on a PowerPoint like we see today, and we had a committee. We had a committee formed with different people, coaches. We also had some folks from our bookstore because we wanted to get a good vision of what the apparel would look like. We had members of our athletic department staff, both of whom are on the external and the internal side. And we also had some donors and other stakeholders as part, including some from the University Marketing Relations that we had as part of the staff as well in the committee. So they sat in a room down in the east side of the Siegel Center here, and we looked at screen after screen of different designs. And what we would do is we'd look at one and we'd take it and we'd decide if we really liked it, if it jumped out at us. And over the course of the next 3 or 4 months, we slowly but surely trimmed it down to the logo that you will see here today. We also brought in stakeholders in late August, and we had groups and forums and let them look at different marks, and they gave us feedback. After that late August feedback, we came to the final decision of what we had. So here we were in September. We had this logo. It's on the disc. We had the JPEGs. We could send it out to anybody we wanted to. And the decision then was when were we going to release it to the general public and let the world see what we had been working on since really early July. The thought was maybe introduce it before basketball season. We decided against that mainly because the uniforms had already been made, as well as the floor had a different logo on it, as you can see down there today. We could not reprint the floor. And so our external operations director, Glenn Hoffman, in a meeting said, you know what we should do? We should find the time that VCU is in the brightest limelight nationally. And for us, that's in the month of March. So with our men's basketball team about ready to set to the A-10 tournament next week in Brooklyn, and our women's basketball team going to be playing in, I guess, 24 hours from now as they take on the Richmond Spiders at the Richmond Coliseum, we decided to debut the logo right here in March, and in the postseason, people would then see the logo. So we're going to get to it in just a moment, but before we do that, I do want to introduce our Director of Athletics, Ed McLaughlin. Ed's got some people he wants to thank and talk a little bit more about the process of designing the new visual identity. Ed?
Thank you, Robbie. Well, it is another great day for VCU athletics, and we always like to say March is our month here at VCU, and it's another good day in March for VCU athletics. As Robbie mentioned, we embarked in this process more than a year ago, and we really wanted to create a trademark logo and visual identity brand that really personified, in a lot of ways, VCU athletics, and I really believe we got there. As Robbie mentioned, the words that we used when talking with Rickbaugh were bold and progressive and cutting edge, and we really believe this logo is all those things and more. I'm really proud of our team that worked on it. Robbie mentioned the people on the committee. I'm really proud of our team that worked on this, and also our focus groups, our constituency groups. It's not an easy process, folks. It takes a long time because you want to get it right, but it's not an easy process. because it is all creative. It's hard to measure, but it's all creative and what will pop for people and what will really make people think of VCU. So I want to thank all the people who worked on it, from the committee to the constituency groups. You know, I had the easy part. I got to be there at the end and to see what the final product looked like as it went. So, but I want to thank everyone who was in attendance today, who worked on the logo project, and all those who aren't in attendance today as well. You know, I think we've accomplished a lot in our first year and a half here at VCU, and this logo and these new visual identity marks are one of those accomplishments. So we're really excited about this process and about this logo being revealed today. So thank you all for being here. We will start unrolling these marks and all that, not only in a few minutes, but you'll be seeing a lot more. Make sure you all go to the bookstore and buy merchandise for the upcoming A10 tournaments. That'd be great. And thanks for your support. Appreciate it. Go Rams.
Are you guys ready to see it? All right, here we go. The first one we want to show is what would be the primary mark. The primary mark is what we send to the NCAA. They ask for a primary mark. It's what then the NCAA sends out to their national media members. We'll also send it to our local TV media members, as well as internet, print, and we'll send it to ESPN, we'll send it to CBS, we'll send it to NBC, and this is what we'll send them. That's it, what we call the horned VCU. This will be used in a vertical space, and this will be used in the horizontal space. So we can go back to the vertical and horizontal. So this will be the primary mark that we will use. When CBS Sports calls us and says, hey, we need a logo for what we're going to put on a Selection Sunday show, we'll ask them if they want it vertical or horizontal, and this is what we will send them. We also talked to a lot of our apparel folks and said, what can we do to help sell more apparel? That's one thing that we really want to do as well with this brand, is sell more gear and get more VCU gear on fans all across the country in Central Virginia. And they said, well, one thing you can do is you can have more than just one thing that we can put on a piece of apparel. So if you take a long sleeve t-shirt, maybe have something on the sleeve, something on the neck, something on the back of the neck, and they didn't want the same logo. So what we have is some secondary marks, and this is the new ram head. Say, whoa. In addition to the ram head, we wanted to try something that really represented VCU athletics and our boldness, our aggressiveness, and we created the charging ram. Again, these are secondary marks, but could easily be seen on apparel in the bookstore or on our Team Fan Shop site on VCUathletics.com. Next up, we have our word marks and secondary word marks. Now, one thing Rick Baugh did do for us is really cool, is they gave us a font to use, whether it's A through Z, 0 through 9, and also different punctuation marks. We have a font, and you can see them on these next secondary word marks. These would be used where the horned VCU may not be able to be used on a uniform or in a space, and also you can form the word Rams. And of course, we have A through Z, 0 through 9, and any of the other punctuation marks. Also, we have the combination marks, which takes our secondary logos and matches them up with our font, which looks like this with the ram head and the VCU. I think this would look awesome on a golf shirt, by the way. Just parenthetically, this looks good on a golf shirt. And not bad on a baseball hat either. And then also the combination of the charging ram and the vertical VCU. Rick Baugh also sent us the horn VCU with a banner. That's what they call this. As you see underneath, that says Rams. We have over 20 of these on a disc, and they say anything from basketball to field hockey to soccer. Also could say marketing. It could also say facilities. We have different ways that we can use it, and so every team will have one of these that will specialize in their particular team. And that's the banner with the ram head. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the new VCU Athletics visual identity. Thank you. Again, I just want to reiterate what Ed said. Ed was really the driving force on creating a new mark. It wasn't